Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the second part of my quality of fragrance video. In the first part I covered the basics and I covered the quality of blend. Here in the second part I will be talking about the quality of material side, the side that interests me way more, the side that I think I have a lot more interesting things to say about. So if you enjoyed the first part, I think you will enjoy this one even more. For those of you who don't have time to watch my 20-minute bamblings about perfume, short answer, and you can finish your video here. Short answer to the question: to recognize high quality materials in perfume, you need to smell them raw. So if you have such opportunities to try high quality oud, high quality sandalwood raw, just do that with time, with understanding, with experience. You will start to recognize these high quality or lower quality materials in perfumes, and the job is done. Is it as easy as it sounds? Obviously not. Because first of all, to get your hands on these raw materials is pretty hard if you're not a perfumer or you don't know someone who is. Third, it's expensive because most of highest quality materials you need to buy in bulk to get access to them. Third of all, even if you manage to achieve those two steps of acquiring high quality materials, the third step of humanity, you almost never can be sure if what you bought is actually what you bought. You need to have a trusted seller, trusted friend, someone with experience, with connections, who can provide you these high quality materials. So if in the first part the hardest thing was experience, because getting your hands on these fragrances of good quality, bad quality fragrances is not that hard. You can go to store, you can buy samples. Getting your hands on high quality saffron, high quality sandalwood, high quality oud, high quality ambergris, it's not that easy to do. As a high quality in materials type fragrance, I chose to showcase Ansar Ouds number 2, because it not only showcases the importance of materials, sometimes even over the importance of perfumer, and I will explain this a little bit later, but it also showcases that in some instances, if you have smelled, let's say, all these wood samples and all the other materials in, let's say, some decent level, I'm sure these are not the best woods out there you can find. I have some musks. I don't have them prepared here, except I have a little bit of musk grains here just to smell. If you can smell something higher than the level you have already experienced, which I get here, you can be pretty sure this has very high quality ingredients inside. So even to be able to recognize the quality of ingredients, you need to have some sort of baseline. And if your baseline is low, something of a medium quality will smell insanely good to you, and you will think that these are the best of the best kind of materials. If your baseline is let's say in the middle, to surprise you, the quality of materials have to be elite. Let's put it that way. Similar like with, I can draw a similarity to music. Let's say headphones. As I mentioned in one of my videos, I'm into headphones. If the best headphone you ever listened is, let's say, Sony X1000M6, whatever, the new one, then anything from, let's say, Sennheiser, from maybe 200 or up euros will blow your mind. If your best quality headphone is, for example, from Sennheiser for 200 euros, and you buy something like a Hyphaman Aria Stealth or something, it will blow your mind. But if you already started with Aria, for example, going back to Sony, you will just understand how actually shit the sound quality is there. So we come back a little bit back to experience, but it's a different type of experience. In the first video of the quality of a blend, you don't need to invest much to get this understanding. I mean, financially, all you need to invest a lot of time to smell a lot of fragrances, to get to know them good, and then you can do some sort of conclusions. Are they good conclusions, bad conclusions? Well, I'm just a person and you judge me. Are my conclusions worth them or not? But to get to understand the high quality of materials inside, it's complicated, because the best way, the fastest shortcut to achieve that is to get these materials, which, as I mentioned, is not that easy to do. With me here, I will maybe talk a little bit about the stuff I have here. I have a little bit of ambergris. This ambergris here, I got it pretty recently. It changed my perception of ambergris so much that now I will actually have to redo Artisanal Dora Atlantic Ambergris 2 review. After smelling this ambergris, I personally think that my Artisanal Dora Atlantic Ambergris review is no longer a good video. I learned so much in 5 minutes with this that I actually basically changed my whole opinion on Atlantic Ambergris, and I will have to redo my whole video. I love that part of this journey. We learn new things all the time, and all these videos I do here today, this year, last year, maybe in 2 years or 3 years my opinions might change, because I will be more wise, hopefully. For example, we hear all people, all these reviewers and artisanal reviewers praising Mysore sandalwood. And how would one know which is better? Mysore sandalwood or other sandalwood, maybe synthetic sandalwood? Simple as that. I have sandalwood, not Mysore variety, and I have Mysore sandalwood. Simple as that. If I now smell a fragrance that contains Mysore or regular sandalwood, if it's centered around that note, there's a good chance I have a better understanding, better ability to sense it, what kind of sandalwood we have in this perfume. Especially that's correct with oud. I have plenty different ouds. For example, we have Cambodian oud here. We have Vietnamese oud. I got this oud directly from my trip to Vietnam. It's to this day my favorite oud of all time. And to be fair, it was not actually that expensive compared to retail prices in Western for Westerners. So There are different, also Morocco wood here, I think. No, Sri Lankan wood here. You get my point. To find your favorite, let's say, wood, because all these regions have very different profiles, you simply need to try them all. For example, I want to show you one wood. Actually, yeah, here. This is Habs wood, Morocco wood here. This wood has opened my eyes as much as this ambergris, because before acquiring this sample, I never even realized that I love Morocco wood the most out of all woods out there. And only after I acquired this, and I will do a review, this is an incredible wood oil, at least for me, it piqued my curiosity, and I started to look through my Ansar wood collection. And the funny thing that I found, Morocco wood as an wood in my Ansar wood sprayable perfume collection are the dominant wood. I have like 4 or 5 Ansar wood perfumes that contain Morocco wood, not Indian wood, which is, let's say, easiest to recognize, but it contains Morocco wood. I have Morocco Maharaja, I have Pink Papua, I have Mozambique, and I don't remember what else. But my point being, I gravitated towards this wood in my, for example, Ansar wood journey without even knowing it. And now, when I do know it, it makes my, let's say, blind buys. Never blind buy, guys. I do it, but you don't. Be smarter than me. Be smarter than a reviewer. I can make my decisions well informed. Therefore, probably my blind buys will be more successful, hopefully, from now on. And then we have a third group. As you probably know by now, I am a vast florals enjoyer, but what kind of florals do I like and what kind of florals I don't like? If I haven't smelled them neat, how would I know? Well, with something like rose is pretty obvious, because rose is a very dominant note. So if you're not a fan of rose, and I am really not that fan of rose, I mean, I have plenty of rose fragrances, I love them for some occasions, but I'm not seeking out for rose, let's say. What kind of florals do I like? One of the florals I know I love is lotus. How do I know that? Plenty of fragrances I enjoy contain lotus, and obviously I have some lotus oil. Thank you, my friend, I got this as a gift. I could wear this as a perfume alone. It's only lotus oil. Among flowers I also enjoy, I got something very special. This is from Ansar wood. The packaging is not from Ansar wood, but the oil inside is a pure jasmine oil from Ansar wood, grandiflorum variety. Now, when I smell a jasmine perfume, for example, Oud de Gran by Russian Adam, but the brand is Feel Oud. I can compare, and in my Oud de Gran review, I said that Oud de Gran is an excellent jasmine oud fragrance, because the quality of jasmine here, that I know is a very high quality jasmine, matches the quality of Oud de Gran. One other floral I love very much, but I don't have here, is frangipani. But when I visited Vietnam or Thailand, I think Vietnam, I smelled the real flower of frangipani, and Bortnikov is a genius how accurately he managed to recreate or distill or implement the flower of frangipani into his perfumes. I told this story in my Q&A video when the guide, tourist guide, he brought me the flower and said, "You, my friend, are smelling exactly like this." So this was compliment said to me, but in my opinion directed to Dmitry Bortnikov for implementing the quality of such a high quality frangipani into his perfume that the person who has nothing to do with fragrances, he recognized the smell and he brought me that flower. So to sum up, I guess, to know how much oud was used in the fragrance, it helps to know how the exact oud that is in there smells. To understand how high quality of a floral it is in that perfume, it helps to have high quality oil of that floral in your collection, or at least experienced it in nature or otherwise. To know how good quality of incense you have in your perfume. I have here Oman incense. It helps to have it in your collection. To know how good quality oud chip, for example, smells. It helps to have an oud chip provided to you from a trusted person who he won't mislead you. He's not trying to sell you anything, he just wants to share. So I know that when I burn this oud, I will have a very high quality experience. To know how good quality musk smells like, this won't help. To be honest, these grains, they smell as much of piss as you can imagine. But, always a but. This helped me to understand how much of work these artisanal perfumers have to put in their creations to tame the stench of musk and to create such a heavenly accords from it, to tame the animalic nature of some of these ouds, to create heavenly aromas that we enjoy. So even when I repeat all the time that these professionally trained perfumers are a little bit better at blending, at deleting all the rough edges, it's a little bit different fight, because I'm pretty sure if you take a professionally trained perfumer and you give him this, he won't be able to do anything with it. In my opinion, he won't. And you take this person, he maybe won't be experienced enough, trained enough to create this cola vibe, but his expertise lies elsewhere. It lies here, taming the nature. So when I say that artisanal perfumers are not to the level of French perfumers, it's not necessarily that they are lower, but more like they are different buildings in a different part of the town. They're doing their own thing, and it's unfair to judge an artisanal perfumer without professional training if he does some missteps here and there, because the natural ingredients we get with this fragrance, for me personally, it compensates, it overcompensates, and it blows anything here out of the water. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you learned something today. I hope you will learn to appreciate raw materials, and you will train your nose, not only smelling the finished product, but try to invest some time, some money into learning what makes this a miracle. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and goodbye.